In today's video, we're going to be making berry-themed cards using my own artwork. I did these watercolor paintings of strawberries and blueberries, and I decided to make some smaller prints of them, and I'm going to use these as the artwork in a card. I'm going to use these two stamp sets. I like this for the buffalo check for a background image, and I've got this berry blessings stamp set that I thought I could use the words and maybe some blueberries. I'm going to use blueberry bushel, all right, that's pretty good. I'm happy with that. Okay, we have our card base. Okay, that's, well, I'm going to trim that just a tiny bit more. I don't like this white line, and I don't like that little tiny edge there. So let's fix that. So this is going to be the backdrop. So I trimmed it just square, but leaving a little bit of a white edge. And it doesn't look bad. Let me see how it would look if it had a blue frame. I think I like that a little better. So I'm going to glue this on here and trim. And the card is going to flip this way because this is the way the image is. Yeah, that looks fine. I want it part way into this band and part way into this band, which means there's a little bit more space here, but that's okay. I could put a sentiment right here. So this way I could take some of my own artwork and use it in card making. So they get a little sample of my actual artwork on the card. Now we need a sentiment. Using up my scraps. I'm probably going to make 2 cards, so might as well print 2. Now I just need to trim those down. And the best way to get a good, nice straight cut is using a die cut. And I may want to put a frame around it, so I'll just use the next size up with that same color. I'm going to do them at the same time. They came from these wallflower die cuts for rectangular frames, which I find this set so useful, so functional. Let's try it on here. No, I'm afraid that trim is just a wee big, so I'm going to have to trim that down. It's bigger. Okay, I'm happy with that. That is better. I'm using Midnight Blue as a slightly darker blue. You know, I should have used the Stamparatus, I think. I think I could do it. That just gives a little bit darker image around it. With Night of Navy. Sorry, it was called Midnight. Okay, and that is our inside of our card. So we have a blueberry theme. I think it's better when you're using a very large stamp to use the Stamparatus, because sometimes it's really hard to get an even print all the way. Got a funny little mark right there. There must have been something stuck on there. But that's okay. I'm going to put an image. Okay, that will work. This one, I think I'll use these. They're probably grape leaves. I don't know. They look like grape leaves to me. But they could be strawberry leaves. So I use the classic green and then Tranquil Tide for the darker. Yeah, that looks fine. And that'll be the insert for this card. So basically the two cards are very similar, used with my artwork. This color is Berry Burst. It's a little rough right there, but I think it's okay. And I think that color will be fine on there. There. Now we've created 3 different cards, but with a similar theme, a berry theme, using the Berry Blessings stamp set. And there's probably more possibilities, but here I used my own art. And here I just played with these 2 stamps and enhanced them with a little bit of marker, and I used this for the leaves, and then I just used markers to draw in some vines to look like. Now I should have arranged it better, but that was actually a scrap piece of paper that I was experimenting with to see if it would work. And I think if when I do another one, I'll arrange them a little better, because I don't like this white space in the middle. I would have liked them, you know, kind of turn like this. It would be a little better. So I'll do that with the next card. But there's an idea for you. And these will go in a set. I have these gift sets boxes. I'll add an envelope, and I'll put my collection of berry cards. And I will have a gift to give someone. And that will give us a nice little gift set. And I could probably put a couple more cards in there. And I do have other ideas along with the berry theme that I could do with that. Because I think I can get 5 cards in this little box, this little gift set, and tie it with a little blue bow, probably, depending on which card you put on top, but the blueberries are my favorite. I redid the grape card, so I wanted to show you my process of how I did it. I suppose the stamp was supposed to be blackberries or raspberries, but I had grapes on my mind, so grapes they became. On the first grape card, I didn't really plan the arrangement of the grape clusters because it was just done on a scrap piece of paper. I was just testing the stamp, and then I decided upon using it anyhow. I used Highland heather for the lighter value, placing one cluster slightly higher than the other. For the darker value, I used blackberry bliss. I chose 2 green colors for the leaves, a warmer green for the base color. I was a little worried the leaves may be too large, but then decided it would be okay if they overlapped. Now, when adding the outlined darker print, I used washi tape to mask off part of the one leaf that I decided would be on top so that I could have a clean print with no double stamped image. Then I used markers to add shadows and a little more dimension to the leaves and scribbled on some curly vines. Not completely happy with the image I created. I felt more grapes were needed, so I added an extra cluster. Odd numbers usually work better with arrangements anyhow. But to do so, I had to mask off the tip of one leaf so that I don't overstamp the grapes onto the leaf. I can just fill in some details where it may not line up properly and add a few more grapes to make the cluster bigger. When coloring, I try to keep all the darker shadows on the left and leave light highlights on the top right of each grape to make it work. I framed this little grape cluster the same as the 2 previous cards, only I decided to have the sentiment in an oval shape. Since I was planning to make the sentiment in the very center on the top, I decided to drop the main image down a little bit to allow space for the sentiment. I thought the buffalo check backdrop reminds us of picnics and picnic blankets and picnic tables, so it seemed like an appropriate image to go along with the berry theme. I used my own watercolor paintings as the artwork in this project, but you could do the same thing with just about any clipped image that you like. I hope this project inspires you with new ideas of your own. I had made this whole package as a gift for someone, which also included a berry basket and a jar of homemade grape jam, which is why I had to have grape cards to go along with this card set. Giving a box of handmade cards is also a great gift-giving idea. I hope you like this great idea. Thanks for watching.